Please stand by for our broadcast from the National Emergency Warning System.
G'day and welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at the Type 97 Chiha long gun. It's a rank 1 SPG coming to the Japanese main tank line. It has extremely powerful gun, 120mm naval gun, decent mobility. The cons: lacks protection and limited ammo. And by lacks protection, it really lacks protection. It's got these two blast shields, which aren't even full blast shields. It barely covers the two crew that are using it. This curious prototype was a self-propelled gun discovered in the territory of Yokosuka Naval Base after Imperial Japan surrendered in World War II. The 120mm gun was installed on a turntable mounted to the chassis of a Type 97 Chiha medium tank. It was obvious that the self-propelled gun was assembled in a rush. The high losses of Japan in the final stages of World War II and a shortage of military production forces, the Army and Naval Commands look for any way to protect the island's metropolia in the Empire from the threat of Allied landings. So, as it says, this is a Type 97 Chiha medium tank hull, which you can already see in game in the Japanese tank tree. In the Chiha, and also the Chiha 120mm short gun howitzer variant, which is in the premium line, which again is a naval gun, but it's a short variant. The gun itself you can see also on the Mitsusuki destroyer in the Japanese naval line. It may also be on some other variants, but that should give you some idea if you've already used it or not. The Chiha long gun will appear in our game for the release of War Thunder Raining Fire update. The self-propelled gun will join the ranks of 1 vehicles in the Japanese Ground Forces research tree. Vehicles of this class are widely represented in the game and have their fans. The advantages of such vehicles are huge firepower and acceptable mobility. The disadvantages are low protection and rather high visibility. I really feel like they're trying to suggest here that this is a Japanese Ram 3.7-inch gun or a VFW type of vehicle, for anyone who's going to like that. But the dev server, when it was first shown on Thursday, I think it was, that live server play showed this gun to not be very impressive. It failed to one-shot Panzer I, I think it was, on the play, because this gun only fires HE, and just because it's 120mm does not necessarily mean it's going to be that effective. And if it fails to kill something with that least amount of armor on it, just not sure what it adds to the game. You already have the Horo in the main line of the Japanese tank tree, and this thing has a 105mm gun, 150mm gun, and it will just one-shot most things that it hits. First time I ever used this when it came out was on the dev server. I drove up to an IS-4 and one-shot it. It's just not the experience I had or was going to have with this other tank. It's going to sit here, the 120, just underneath the Horo at 1.7, and I just don't know what it is going to add to the line. I'm sure there are so many more vehicles that the Japanese tech tree could have had added that would have contributed more to the effectiveness of the tree. There's so much that this tree needs to flesh it out still, and this vehicle is too low a BR to have any effect on that at all. Alright, so the Chiha long gun is classic of the glass cannon. The absence of a gun turret and the high seating position of the gun operators makes the crew open for any damage, including machine gun fire, aviation and artillery strikes. However, the huge damage of the gun makes the risk of the crew justified the strategist. The 120mm naval gun fires only high explosive fragmentation shells, of which each contain almost 2 kilograms of explosives in TNT equivalent. After each shot, you need to look for cover. It will take the crew some time to reload this giant gun. The Chiha long gun gets to the shelter quickly if it gets... The Chiha long gun gets to the shelter quickly enough. Even a heavy cannon does not prevent the Chiha chassis from accelerating to a speed of just over 40 kilometers an hour. Chiha long gun will be a good addition to the starting steps of the Japanese vehicles. Each shot from the self-propelled gun inflicts critical damage to light protected targets, but every enemy shot threatens to immediately send the brave Japanese to the hangar. Put the Chiha long gun to the test with the release of our big update, Raining Fire. It won't be long. I am not impressed by this vehicle. I can understand why Japanese fans might be happy to have this. As a British fan in particular, any kind of British vehicle, regardless of how good it is, I'm happy to see in game. But I can't help but feel like Japan needs vehicles that actually make a difference. And this, to me, is not going to make a difference. Any of you guys use it on the dev server or have an opinion on it? Were you looking forward to this vehicle or not? I'm really not sure about this one. So there you go. This is the Chiha long gun coming in the next patch. If you have anything that I missed or you want to add to the discussion, please go ahead, leave a comment below, and I'll respond, or hopefully someone else will get some conversation going about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the patch, Raining Fire. Goodbye. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe.